Hello TPC, my name is Paolo and I am part of the finance team. I've been in the finance team for quite a while, but in the last couple of months, 2 years, we've seen a lot of change in how we run. There have been a lot of new members in the team. The leadership of the finance committee's shifted as well. And I'd like to say that the way the team operates is of an incredibly high quality, and decisions are not taken lightly, processes followed, and it just is a real pleasure to be part of such a great team of people. We've got a lot of things to celebrate and to look forward to in terms of the life of our generosity. So looking at the monthly tithes that over the last couple of years, and casting back to 2020, we've seen consistent increases in giving in TPC. To 2021, there was about a 6% increase in tithes on average. Moving to 2022, we saw another 6% increase. Then moving to 2023, in the first half of the year, and something which raised some alarm and some concern in the finance committee is we saw a bit of a decline in giving. It was about 2%. But in the second half of 2023, there has been a fundamental shift, a positive and big change where, comparing the second and first half of this year, we've seen a 21% increase in giving. And it's been fairly consistent. And just to talk about November, we've seen what is the second highest giving in any month. The last time more than this was given was in 2017. What was different about then is it was an extraordinarily generous tithe of 140,000 Rand in that month. What is different about November and in the last 5 months is that the increased giving has come from across the congregation. It is a participation of many people, and it is not the contributions that, on the high end of the scale that matter. It is the contributions of all. And while it's something to celebrate, it's absolutely not something we want to stop seeing. We need to keep on being as generous as we are. We are grateful for your generosity. Moving on to combined giving. Now, as we've been talking about tithes, here we look at giving over and above tithes, which, as we look over the past few years, we can see that trend has been increasing too. Casting our mind back to the period of 2016 to 2018, just over 1.5 million Rand was given towards a building fund where there's a lot of renovation in the church, the chat room, the kitchen, the outside area, the kids area, the parents' room. There was a lot of shift. Looking to 2019 was a heartbeat offering of 170,000 Rand, which was raised in a single month. During COVID, Hope Bank's giving amassed to 330,000 Rand, and that was really a mechanism and a vessel to deliver generosity into our local communities, to help families in need, and that made a huge difference. More recently, in the past year, just under 270,000 Rand was donated to make the purchase of a generator possible, so that the life of the church can continue during load shedding, and that's made an enormous difference. For this, in summary, I just want to highlight that between 2019 and 2023, there has been a 41% increase in combined giving.
Everything affects everything. Another encouraging stat is the growth of our church overall this past year. This is good news. You can see on the graph that there's a significant increase from last year to this year. This means that more people found a church home where they can grow into God's purpose for them, where they contribute into the kingdom of God, where they find safety and comfort and direction. But this also means that we need to stretch to accommodate all these new family members so that we can make sure to continue growing. You'll see Sundays after church that there are hundreds of cups of coffees given, people talking to each other, staying behind, kids running around. There's a buzz. But all of these things need to be facilitated. with equipment, with budget spent on training of people to do these things, tables for people to sit at, and cups. Lots and lots and lots of cups. Another thing, earlier this year we had a series called Big Prayers, Small Steps, and we prayed, Lord, let there be rows and rows of people getting baptized, that our services run late, people's lives being changed. And we feel like we've seen a glimpse of this happening this year. We've had 36 people getting baptized this past year, and we're trusting God for more. This is 36 individuals with a story who've made a decision to say, my life counts for something, and I'm gonna live for Jesus. Kids, this year we've been ministering to an average of 105 kids per Sunday. Young lives being shaped and steered into the direction of living for Jesus. And facilities were upgraded. Actually, we went from having 2 separate facilities for different age groups to being able to have 4 different facilities to make sure that we can be more specialized in how we do church for these kids in an age-appropriate manner. But what this meant was that we had to kit out these facilities with furniture, with equipment, and we've been able to do that because of the generosity of our church, because of faithful giving. But let me tell you something. We are bursting out of our seams in the spaces that we've already created. So God's going to do something wonderful, and we're going to take massive leaps of faith next year. I actually had a very long list, but there's many things, unseen and seen, big and small, that take place in the life of our church. Things maybe that you know about are like the recent Christmas banquet that we put up for the real grown-ups. That took resources. Maybe something you don't know about is the sandwiches that's made for the school next door every week for the kids who can't afford to bring lunch to school. There's things like Beyond These Walls, which is a separate part of our giving, where we support missionaries in different parts of the world, helping them do what they do where we can't go. And that's another thing that we're going to see God do something special with next year. We've been able to help families with food vouchers in our community. And there's also been connect groups getting involved with social justice, giving into different places, orphanages, different organizations. And there's also been people giving things, not just money, furniture. There's been a stove, there's been tablets for kids check-in. I mean, a very long list that comes to a total of 193,000 Rand just this past year. We thank God for what He has been doing. We thank God for a generous church, a community that says, hey, Jesus, count me in. I want my life and everything in it to count for something, and I want to build something significant. So we thank God for 2023, and we say 2024, bring it on. We're ready for what's ahead.
A wrap up. 2024 is coming. We've made very good progress in 2023, but in 2024 we have to change gears. We as a church have the value of impact. We don't want to be doing good things and people not knowing about them. So we want people to know what we're doing. That's number one. But number two, we want to be the church that the Southern Suburbs needs. We want to be a church that South Africa needs. We want to be a church that Africa needs. Not that we've got delusions of grandeur, but we can make a difference, and we can be that type of church. We don't want to be a church that looks inside and just cares for our own needs and has an inward-looking backyard vision. We want to be a church that has a significant vision. So next year, we're having to make significant changes. You heard about the kids and their ministry to the children. That's going to grow. Something's got to be done. I don't know what, but we're going to have to do something. We are creating a new post, and we are appointing a new staff member. We are creating a post called Teams Pastor, and we are appointing someone there. We got to announce it properly. We have somebody, we've decided on somebody, we've done interviews, gone through due process, but we're not quite ready to be able to make that announcement, but that announcement is coming. And so there are changes that are coming. We are going to have to change gears. What does this mean? This means that great demands are going to be made on every single one of us. Area of finances, area of hours that we put in, we are changing gears and we want to go up a level in 2024.